Hello, welcome to Flooring Models Kit Review time. Today we've got border models, new 1/35 scale. This is the Panzer IV Ausf.G. Now, I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I've ever seen a border models kit. I'm told they're absolutely gorgeous and you need to review one, hence I've got one in to have a look at it. Anyway, what have we got? We've got a very nice looking Panzer IV. Sat in here in sort of the winter type effect. Nice box art right the way through. It's always nice to see an artist do it rather than some digitized thing and all the rest of it. So well done, Jason, in 2018, who actually did this one. Okay, it's called a 2-in-1, so it's actually saying it's got precision parts, metal cables are included, 2 types of additional armor, 2 types of barrel, additional tracks with the tank as well. Okay, so that's the one. So kit number for this one is BT001. It's 1/35 scale, we said before. A couple of different options on the side here. So we've got that sort of standard 3-tone, or we've got the winter effect down there as well. All right, color call outs by MIG, as always it seems to be with all these companies these days. Okay, quick running around the cups. We said BT001, this is their first kit, and we've got a couple of other options on there as well. So, and on this side you can see with a little bit of photo etch on the side. Okay, so in the box we are greeted by, let me get it out, like me? No, there we go. Okay, so we've got some grey screws just down in here. So we've got all separately bagged, crinkly bags. We've got 1 and 2, and then tracks. Again, look like we're pretty much in there, and just a couple of bits around the corners. That looks very, very nice. Okay, and again, we've got these ones down in here. Sprue F, got 2 in there, single one here, and again we've got a barrel. Very nice indeed. Okay, more parts just down in there. A couple of sprues in here, so it looks like we've got the rear area for the turret. Some down in there. We've got the actual turret and a one-piece hull. That looks very nice underneath, to be honest with you. And then down in here, we get one bag with everything in it. So we've got the actual photo etch, got the armour, and all the things in here like this. And it looks like I have to bite the bullet and we're going to have to cut this. No, we're not. So it can get in here. Okay, that's got to be the thinnest bag I think we've ever had on here. Okay, right, so we'll look at those parts in a moment, but they look very nice indeed. Very Dragon-esque, I don't know, is it just me? Anyone else seeing that? Very Dragon-esque the way they've done this one. But as you can see down here, it says we've got a metal barrel, we've got a metal type of collar, we've got the photo etch for the armour on the side, we've got some more photo etch and various things down in there like that. Okay, so a little bit obviously about the Panzer IV, as you might imagine, right the way through, and then straight into it. So we're into the various bits down in these. So what's that one there? I don't even understand what that one is. F22, 2 of these. So it's obviously track systems, 10 making up links for the tracks. We'll have a look to see exactly how that goes in a moment. The underside, so it's adding all panels and obviously photo etch going straight into this one to make up some of the areas down here on the sides. Okay, then we've got more parts down in there for the lower hull, and really adding all the details down to the lower hull as we pretty much expect. Very finely, I don't know how well they're picking up on camera, but the arrows are pointing in yellow. And I don't know if it's just me getting old, but I didn't spot that until I caught it in the glare, because straight off, you can see it when you're looking straight down on it, but as you're looking, it's very hard to see these yellow arrows pointing to everything. I think that's a mistake. If you're doing colour, we can see the red, but can't really see the yellow, but that might just be me being picky. Okay, so running around, as you imagine, putting all the road wheels on, the suspension, the various things you might imagine on armour, typical type thing. Rear muffler assembly all being fitted down onto here and going in on the back system. Then we've got the actual drive sprockets being fitted in and the idlers at the rear. Okay, pretty much standard. Okay, and then we've got the various items being fitted down onto these side skirts with obviously a lot of the tools, the equipment, as you might imagine, as it is fitted. And again, nice touch with this one, we've got some photo etch down in here for all the clasps that actually hold the equipment on, which is a nice touch. Then we're adding those to the sides of the actual lower hull, and then the track system. Apparently it just magically appears on here. Perhaps they've just got it in the wrong order, but anyway, more tracks being fitted down onto this one. 9 for the separate links on the front, and then the bar, retention bar on the front. Okay, and then the tracks are off again. Okay, so it's a little bit of things. Okay, more extra track links being fitted to the front. We've got the front plate being fitted onto this one. And again, hold on, it's showing on the top and then it goes on. Okay, we'll let them off. Okay, so anyway, then you've got the actual front with the bow gun being fitted down onto this one. More tracks being fitted down onto this one, as you might imagine, and then we've got hatch covers being fitted on. Then you put on the top that you can see over there, but we won't keep going on about. So hold on, you put that one in there, and then that one's not showing it. Okay, right, fair enough. Just me, clearly. Okay, so tracks being fitted on. I do like this style. It saves you having to make up these big sections, and then that way you can just pop them in and go around with it like that. So I am quite a fan. I know a lot of people like the aftermarket way of doing it, but actually I quite like that way. Okay, so more extras being all fitted down to this one, really adding all the details, as you might imagine, onto the actual hull of the actual tank itself. Then we've got the armour system being fitted on there, so you've got all the holders being fitted on, and very reminiscent of the Dragon one that I did. You've got the armour plating going onto the side. Okay, so you've got that being fitted in there. Okay, then it's over to the top turret. You've got all the parts being fitted in, and then the up armour sections and various parts going into this one, as you might imagine. So we've got the actual commander's cupola being fitted down into there. The barrel, depending if you're using the metal one or the plastic one, obviously I think you get both in there. You've got the breech, the various sections being fitted into this one. Okay, and then that one's being fitted down into the actual turret. There's no detail on the inside, but you do get the actual gun mechanism with the breech and the lock and everything at the rear. Again, more armour being fitted to the outside to this one, right the way round, as you might expect. So that's all being fitted in, and then your turret goes on. Again, it doesn't mention anything about the back one going on, but then you look at it, you can vaguely see a little yellow, yeah. Okay, lovely little call outs. I know I might take the mick out of me basically sponsoring everything these days for getting their colour call outs in there, but the artwork is good. I have to say, I do like their artwork. It gives great inspiration about actually doing the model in this fashion, even if you're not using their paint, whoever paint you're using, but you can take your cues for weathering and all the various bits and pieces from their artwork. So that's really nice to see. And again, the different versions right the way through. So you've got the sand, the winter, the standard summer camos, things like that, depending where they are, okay? And again, right the way through with all of that. Nice. A little bit weird about how they actually do their instructions, but hey ho. Right, so if we start down in here in a little bit, so to start off with, we've got a little bit of photo etch. This is that sort of on the hull set. It is behind a little bit of tape just to hold it together a little bit more, stop it coming apart. So that's actually quite nice. Okay, side armour, again, very reminiscent of when I did the Dragon one years and years and years ago. Actually, it was almost 15 years ago. Okay, but pretty much the same types of parts on there. So you get two of those, which is a nice touch. We have got some braided copper wire that's been done so that you can make your toe-in ones out of that, which is very nice indeed. A tiny little bit of photo etch, so this is all for your locks and latches and things like that down on there. It's quite fiddly. Okay, and then down in here, because we haven't seen these before, I want to have a look at their decals just to see what they're like. Okay, they're a little bit carrier films running away with it. You can probably see it on there. If I catch it in the lights and try and get it, as you can see, there's quite a lot of carrier film around the edges of each part, and if you look, the registration isn't exactly brilliant. In fact, the registration is out on my particular one completely, which is a little bit odd, because it looks like the up here on the crest is fine, but clearly, I don't know how well you can see it with the white. My white is out of alignment down here with the black for the cross. So yeah, that's completely dropped too low. It needs to go up a bit and round because it is completely out of sync down the bottom here, which is a little bit of a shame. And if you look at it, the entire bit of paper isn't even square. So it goes up where it's obviously on a giant sheet and they just chop them. But looking at it, it does look like this one's out of registration. Looks like the white is off, and that explains it somewhat now on pretty much all of these. But yeah, you can probably see they are off. It might be, I'm not being funny, for the case of a little bit of aftermarket to go down. It's not so bad if you're just doing the white ones, but if you're doing anything with the black and the white together, they are a little bit off on that one. A shame. Okay, so into the plastic. So starting off with, can we get into these with our extremely thin bags, or do we need a knife? Can't see how we get in. Nope, this is a nice bit job. Okay, so 2019 mould, you can see it written down the bottom. and it is obviously all their own work. Always nice to have a look on the inside to see how the tooling is machined by the machine marks on the inside. And you can see that's actually not too bad at all, okay? Anyway, on to the important bits, as you can see. Nice sharp detail, clever injection moulding around this area at the back. So actually that's not too bad, but actually the highlight is this. Beautifully done. You don't see it. You've got the injection port just here, which is, again, nicely tucked out of the way. It's not in the way or anything else like that. Although that said, this one is, because it's in between. You get in there with one of our sanding sticks, a 5mm job, but anything else you're going to make a bit of a mess taking off the bolt heads. But it's nice to see you've got all this detail running on the inside and on the outside parts of the actual hull. So looking at the front, you can see the bolts, the various sections. It's actually looking quite nice right the way round. Again, it's quite a complex piece to do, just these areas at the back. The way they've moulded that in one. That's not a straightforward kit, not for a newer manufacturer having a go at it anyway. So that's actually very nicely done. Okay, again, it's all stamped 2019, which is very nice indeed. Okay, and we've got the top part. Again, a lot of up armour on this one. But again, it's got some little screw heads. Would that be in scale? Because surely that would be like almost the size of half a hand. Length of a finger, I'm not sure about that, but again, not being a Panzer IV Ace expert, I'm not too sure. But giant slot headed screws like that, I just don't know if that's a little bit over the top. Generally, no problem at all, good clean part, very nice. Okay, so into the bags. Let's start with some of the bigger bags and then we'll work smaller. These must be the thinnest, most rustly bags we've ever had. Okay, so on Sprue E, we got him just down in here. Looks very nice. Again, nice texture on all the plastic. It's actually very nice indeed. So anyway, starting at the top, we can see the top of the turret. Again, it's almost like an anti-slip. It's not quite there because clearly it didn't have it, but it's actually a nice texture. I think it's a lovely texture. But the machining and the tooling and everything else around these panel lines is absolutely gorgeous. Now, we know it's German and it's probably correct, but they look so straight. I don't know if they're just too straight. Would Armour literally have it as clean and as sharp? I know it's German and everyone's going to say, well, it's German engineering. Of course it is. But, you know, that's why they lost the war. But at the end of the day, that looks really, really clean. Very, very nicely done with all of that on the top here. But the bolt heads, this details down in these little things down showing these front areas is absolutely gorgeous. Beautifully done. We've got the bow gun area, things like that, just down in here. We've got the side armour and the armour hangers, things like that. Interesting sprue design, the way they're running these sort of down and then in. They're very fine, very, very fine, but it would just worry me if you didn't notice where to cut it, because clearly these are the hangers, so you need to leave this little tiny bit on the edge here just in on all of these, but you might just get carried away and cut through these and cut the wrong bit. So just be mindful on that. You won't remember, you'll probably go through like me and do the wrong bit, but never mind, you only do it once. Okay, various other parts, no problem at all with anything. Good bolt detail as well, good sharp clean looking bolts. They look like bolts, you know, it's not just like a bit of a nipple sticking up like some kits do. That's a proper bolt, which is nice to see. And again, the end or the wraparound armour on the back of the turret, nicely done indeed. On the inside we've got the odd little injection port flash areas, things like that, as you might imagine, but all of these are going to be tucked out of the way, no problem. These doors and various things, there's no ejector pins on the blind side whatsoever, so again, pretty much if you don't see it, it's going to have an ejector pin. If you are going to see it like these doors on here, things like that, there's no ejector pin, so that's quite nice. Okay, where do we go from here? Let's go in here. So, in a baggie. Okay, let's do C. So C's looking pretty good. Again, beautiful detail. Again, I think there's more one-piece moulding, which is very clever. Like these bits at the top here, that's beautifully done from all sort of angles and sides. Just good level of detail in all of that. And again, all of these areas with the bolt details, the things like that, and all of this is very, very nicely done, as you can see. Nice work on this one. Again, having, you know, technically it's a new company to me. You guys might be shouting at the screen saying, oh no, they did such and such, but as far as I'm concerned, they're new. So to come out with this as their first release is actually very, very nice. Great work. And again, just the tools and the equipment just down in here, you can see it. Cutters, things like that. They look really very, very nice indeed. Again, the hatches, all the details, good, clean, sharp things. These towing S's here for the hooks, they are beautifully done. Very, very clean, crisp, sharp on all of those. Okay, so this is G. Oh, sorry, we've got this one here. Who's this? This is D. And again, we've got the rear box, and then obviously the plates, round areas, things like that. Again, very nicely done. Again, as you can see here, because you're going to see both sides of this, no ejector pin. Nice, very, very nice. Okay, so we have, this is Sprue. Get in. Okay, so here we've got J. That looks very nice. Lots of equipment, lots of detail on this one. Again, nice, clean, sharp moulding on all of this one. You can probably catch it all just in here. If we walk along, see the axe there, all the parts looking nice, good, clean detail right the way through. And again, pretty sharp all the way. As I say, these, like you probably see it here, how fine is that? But the only trouble is, where'd you cut it? You know, you can make your educated guess clearly, but because they sort of just blend into the part, but the fineness of the actual part from the sprue to the part is absolutely fantastic. Very, very clean. It's not so bad on the big chunky stuff, but down in here, that's very, very fine. So a couple of snips and there's no cleanup, which is the nice thing to it. And again, these little parts over here, you can probably see, beautifully done. Very, very nice. Good, sharp details. Okay. In Sprue K, got the cupola and collar, various parts down in here on Sprue K. Very nice again. I don't think the colour of the styrene does it much good, but at least it's not that sort of diarrhea colour that everyone seems to go with these days. Quite nice in the grey, but again, just doesn't show the detail that well in grey. But you can see various barrels, so there's your other barrel. I thought it said it had a metal barrel. Did I misread that? We'll check that in a moment, but I haven't found one yet, but that's a different barrel, clearly. And all the parts, as you can see, round on there, so that's very nice indeed. And again, detail on these hatches and these inner parts as well. Very nice indeed. Okay, tracks and things we'll look at last. This will be a dual one because this is all the wheels and the running gear and all things like that. Okay, so this is going to be a dual one because the parts are exactly the same. So on Sprue F down in here, you've basically got all the running gear, the mechanics, as you might imagine, right the way through. And again, it's very, very nicely done. Good, clean, sharp details right the way over. The pads we'll look at, we look on the other side as well. As you can probably see, that's really very, very nice. All of those areas. But down in here, obviously I presume this is the drive sprocket one. That's a lot of detail in one part. And it's good, clean, sharp detail at that as well. And these guys as well. Lots of bolt detail, as you'd imagine it to be. And again, when you flip over, nice tread, pads and everything. They're all metal on these, all the parts. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, last up we have, well, one from last. And perhaps you don't get a metal barrel. Perhaps I'm just imagining that because now I'm doubting myself. I thought it said metal barrel. Perhaps it's dual barrel. So, again, twin pack on H because obviously it's track and various things. Must be the idler one. This is the drive one down in here, sprocket areas. So you see there's all your track. Nice, good, clean. I don't think the camera actually does it justice. It looks soft on as I'm looking at you. Honestly, it's not. That's good, sharp details on the track. Nothing wrong with that at all. The individuals are very nice indeed. We're assuming it's not workable, but they might click together. Okay, so drive sprocket, driver, idler wheels, return wheels, things like that, as you might imagine, road wheels, all down in there. And again, Nicely done. Pretty much blank on the other side. And again, the track's not looking too bad. Okay, so now we've got the arches. Okay, and again, look at the detail on that. That's beautifully detailed. Love that checker type extra board on the top. All those areas, just the areas down in here for the tools to go on. That is absolutely gorgeously done. It's very, very nice on Sprue L. And on the underside, clearly no ejector pins. So you've got the reinforcements and everything else like that for the walkways on the actual arches, things like that. Beautifully done. That is very, very nice indeed. Beautiful. Right, I just want to check, because I don't know if I dreamt it. See, either I am missing or I haven't seen, but it does say down in here, metal barrel, metal them, 6 of them. And I don't seem to have them. So we will have to regroup and check, but I definitely didn't have them in that kit. That's a brand new kit, just been opened, and I haven't got it. So unfortunately, yeah, not sure where they've gone on that one, so I'll have to double check. Just check the box. No, we definitely didn't get it in ours. So I'll just confirm that this isn't like a typo or something else like that. This particular one doesn't come with the actual metal barrel and all things like that. We'll check and get back to you. Unfortunately, I can't say about that because I didn't get it. Okay, after just getting off the phone, apparently it turns out that the metal barrel and the caps are optional extras. They are an upgrade to this actual kit. It doesn't come with the kit. Apparently something was lost a little bit in translation when they did the instructions and things like that. So yes, you get everything. You get the 2 barrels but in plastic, but the metal barrel and these metal looks like caps, 6 of them, are actually an optional upgrade. You can buy those separately from the kit from border models. So a little bit of confusion over that one. Just spoken to them, they've clarified that apparently there was something lost in translation when they were doing them. It should say that it's actually an optional extra or an aftermarket part that's available. So if you do want the barrel on that, get hold of them and you can order them separately. So anyway, there you go. That is the border models Panzer IV 1/35 scale.